welcome back to a new video. Today I'm pretty excited about this one because this one of course is part of the Neca Universal Monster Wave. Got this guy a while ago and I haven't been able to review him, but that is the Invisible Man Neca Universal Monster figure. I am super excited to get into it. I'm just gonna get straight into it. So let's get on with this review and yeah. Get right into it. So first and foremost, of course, we're going to be taking a look at the actual box itself, which probably is my favorite box out of all the figures that we've gotten so far. But it looks really nice. Of course, you got the amazing looking poster right there. Only difference is, of course, all the posters that you've seen don't usually say Ultimate Invisible Man. But it looks awesome. I love the way it looks right there. You got 3 characters right there, which I don't remember the names of because it's been a while since I watched this movie. But of course, you got some side art right here with some alternate head sculpts and some other accessories right here. And of course, some more stuff here. If we open the box, you of course get a little sneak peek, which you know, it's not really a figure inside of there, but you get a figure right there. But in the inside of the box, there is like this cover art, which is pretty cool. I like the way it looks. You can see like there's a table, chest with some sciencey stuff like that. But it's not bad, not a bad background. But I think we're all here for the figures, so let's bring them on out here and let's take a look at them. So, taking a look at all of his accessories, he's got quite a bit of them. First of all, we're going to go over the 3 different faces, but I think we're going to take a look at these 2 right now. But you can see there's one that kind of looks like a bird, if you kind of, like a Muppet, you know what I mean? But it's very weird. But this part is, of course, supposed to be hidden, and it's supposed to be of his, like, faceless look when he's eating his food at the very beginning of the movie. Very nicely detailed. I love the way it looks. The nose is pretty much nicely on there. The hair is poking out, but it's not bad. I really like the way it all looks. It's pretty creepy looking. I love the way it looks. In a way, it kind of reminds me of the head that we got with the Michael Myers figure, which is pretty cool. Of course, we get this one as well, which doesn't have a nose or eyes, or it's got a little mouth slip is right there. The hair, of course, is poking out. It's all hard plastic. I mean, the face is a little, it's pretty much all plastic, but there is some kind of give to it, just a tiny bit, but not really. It's all hard plastic, so you don't have to worry about breaking it or anything. This head is a little different because it's more of rubbery, so you can kind of squish it a little bit, but not with this one. So this is a pretty nice sturdy one, but it's not bad. Those are the 2 heads right there. He comes with a little pair of glasses as well. I have tried, you cannot really put it on there, but it's just kind of there so he can hold it. But I'm sure you could, but the strap could easily just snap off if you force it a little too much. But they're very nicely detailed. I love the way they look. They kind of have this little gloss to them at the lens part, but it's very nicely done. Love the way it looks, but there's that right there. He comes with a kind of wig or toupee, so that's pretty much his hair, because he takes it off and throws it at the people. But it's very nice looking. Like the way that looks. It's not bad. For the tiniest accessory that he comes with is the nose. The nose is right there when he throws it on the table, saying there's a souvenir for you. But that's pretty much that. But what's very generous with this nose piece is that they actually give you 2 more just in case you lose it. So you got some extra ones right there. So I think that's really nice that they did that. For another accessory, he has this little glass stuff with some stuff inside of it, with kind of like this little spoon, so you can stir it around and do some little experiments, which I think is pretty cool. I really like the way that looks. But yeah, it only gives you 1 of them though. You got a nice looking book right here, which is pretty nicely done. I like the way it looks. But there's some writing on the inside, which you can see there. I think that's upside down. Is that upside down? There we go. That should be fine. But you can see there's a bunch of different writings in there. I don't know if this is accurate or not, but pretty cool. You kind of make out what it is supposed to be. But I love the detailing onto it as well, because I love how you kind of see like some of the ink of it is kind of smeared just a little bit, like right in here, or just some stuff like I don't know, I just love the way it looks. It's such a nice looking accessory. Love how that all came out. But that's pretty much that. He also does come with a pair of hands. Of course, he has the ones that he's wearing right now, but he also comes with a set of 5, which is very odd because there's one kind of left out. But he's supposed to have 2 fist hands, which he's holding one of the fists in his hands. He also has these 2 kind of grabby hands, which, well, not, yeah, pretty much grabby hands. He's got 2 of them right there, with some very nicely detailed kind of gloves right there. And of course, he's got some gloves here that has the you know, more keeping you warm kind of gloves, but he's got kind of a grasp on something there, and he's got a hand right here, which is very nicely sculpted. I love the way that that looks. The amount of detailing on that is awesome. But that is basically all of his accessories. What we're gonna do now, though, is take all the accessories off, and let's take a look at the actual figure. So here is the actual figure himself. He looks absolutely amazing. Give him a little rotation right there. But he looks awesome. I love the way he looks all the way around. Very, very simple look to him, but I do like the way he looks. Starting off with this head sculpt. This head sculpt is like really, really good looking. I love the way this head sculpt looks. If you're gonna zoom in just a little bit, it looks nice. I love this head sculpt. This is probably my favorite one out of the 3. This is just regular. I love the way the goggles look. He looks very menacing looking, but I love the way it looks. The hair is sculpted pretty nicely, but I like the way it looks. You can see that he does have a nice looking kind of suit here with some hints of blue just kind of mixed in there. It's more of a dark blue. And then he's got hints of lighter blue in some of the spots here. Very nicely done with wrinkles and stuff. Of course, he's got his other hands as well, which this one's more of a kind of calmer hand, I guess you can call it. But you know, it's just kind of, you know, for grasping. I usually use it to pick up the book, and of course, he's got his other fist here. For pants, it's really nothing interesting. He's just got some pants on and some nice looking shoes right there, but it's not bad. It's a very, very not bad figure. I love the way it looks, but yeah, it's very, very simple. Some stuff that it says that you can do is, of course, you know, you can give him his other feature, which is popping off this head, popping off this, popping off that, and there you go. The Invisible Man figure, which I love how that's like a selling point to the on the box as well, which makes sense because that's basically how he is in the movie. So yeah, that actually makes sense. It looks awesome. I love the way that looks. It's such an obvious way to you know, get this figure to pose, but you know, it's pretty cool. You definitely display them like this if you want to, but I think with the other kind of heads, I think that would be a little bit better. So with like doing this head's going to be a tiny bit tricky, but I suggest just kind of like easily doing this because I don't really know how sturdy this back part is. So I would just kind of press on it just a little bit from the top, and there you go. He kind of has that look like he's invisible, and it's pretty done. I really like the way that looks. The part in the back makes it look a little weird, but you can easily kind of you know, make it look like that. And I think from a side view that looks nice, but from what I'm seeing on the package, it looks like you can actually put these goggles on, which is very interesting. So if we kind of just, you know, easily do this as easily as we can. If I break this on camera, again, I'm blaming the box art because the box art says you can do this. Go. That's not bad. I actually really like that. I just was looking at the box and I see this and I'm like, wait a minute, you can put the goggles on. But that's basically what that looks like, which is pretty cool that that's an option, but I would still be very, very careful. The strap could easily just snap off, but you know, just kind of have it like that. I think you'll be okay. It's not too too bad. I think that's really, really nice, but that's basically that head sculpt. Taking it off is pretty easy. Putting the next head sculpt on is pretty good. I like the way this one looks. It's very scary. I actually really like the way this one looks. But I do think that this head sculpt is like my favorite out of all of them. It's just like so, you know, it's so simple, but and so kind of plain for an Invisible Man figure, but I just love the way that looks. If we kind of put on the gloves, you can kind of see how that would look on the figure, but you just kind of got to force that in there like this, and then you got to do the same with this side as well. You kind of just eat that in there like so, and there you go. He kind of has his gloves on now, which is pretty nice. I really like the way it looks. You kind of got to mess with it just a little bit, so these little parts right in here, so they can go over the cuffs and not inside of them. But it's not bad. It's a good look for him. I really like the way that looks. But that's basically those gloves. Of course, you can get into you know, fiddle around with some of his other accessories as well. The last thing, or the book, you can kind of have the book in hand, which is kind of what I usually do. Just kind of have him holding the book and make it look like he's reading it, which is very nice looking. I love the way that looks. Oh, it definitely looks like the Sideshow one, when you know, because the Sideshow one had his own kind of books to have as well. So I think that's like really, really cool. There's so many good kind of simple but effective posability options with this figure. And speaking of kind of posabilities, he does have a good range of posability. He can look up that far, down that far. He's got some side to side and of course some swivel. His arm can go a full 360. His arm could go out about that far. That's basically the extent of that. He has a little bit of swivel at the elbow. Of course, he's got a bend at the elbow as well. Swivel at the wrist, and of course some up and down as well. He does have some waist movement and kind of a crunch, but of course this rubbery part kind of prevents it. But it's not bad. It's a good, decent crunch. His spread is pretty good, very nice and tight. He's got some back movement about to here, and some movement about to there. He's got a bend at the knee, and some up and down at the foot, of course, with some pivot as well. So the posability options is not too bad. You definitely won't be getting him into some, like, you know, very werewolf-like poses, you know what I mean? But for what he has, it's very simple, and I love the way he looks, and you know, that's basically that. You can definitely get him in some pretty decent poses. I love the way it looks. And with these other head sculpts are definitely not as the same as the regular one, because the regular one has kind of a ball joint at the base of the neck, which you can kind of see right there. Ball joint right here, but with this head, it's kind of flesh, so the ball joint is basically counting on this one to make any type of head movement. There's no movement at kind of like the back of the neck, which is pretty interesting that they did that. Of course, this one is going to have some limits because it looks like that, but I don't know, I just kind of expected both of these to be the same. Something I did also notice though is that with this little glass piece, it looks like they were going to do something else with it, because that looks very, very white, and some other liquids inside of it. More very not a clear glass, it's just kind of like that. But they definitely changed that a little bit, so I think that's pretty interesting that they kind of kept that in. But it's not bad. I really like this figure. He's definitely not my favorite out of the bunch, but you know, he is what he is, and I think that he definitely fits with the rest of the monsters. But let's compare them to some of the monsters. I really don't want to grab all of them, but I think the definite comparison is with the Sideshow Invisible Man. So comparing these two Invisible Mans, there's definitely a huge difference with both of them. You can definitely see there's a big height difference and definitely clothes difference as well. Both of them are from the same movie, but I don't know, that they're just have very different designs. So I want to give you my thoughts on them just real quick, but you can see that this one is definitely from the first part of the film, and this one's from like later on, but you can see that both of them are very different in their own way, but the head parts is kind of like what we're kind of here for. So let's kind of focus these things right here. But you can see that both of them have the wrappings on their head, but this one is very detailed compared to the Neca one. But you can see that the glasses are different, the way the face is as well, and it's very, very different. You can see that on the packaging for this look is based off of this look right here. But you can see that they kind of got the wrappings right more for this one than they did on that one. That one looks very overly detailed when it should be very simplified like this one. But it's not bad. But I think, in my opinion, I think Sideshow wins this round. I love this version of the Invisible Man compared to like the first opening part. I'm not saying this one's bad by any means, but I think I would have loved to have seen this version. I just love the head. The head is like my favorite part of this figure. But yeah, it's just so nice looking. I kind of love the way that the hair is not sticking out, unlike this one. But it's not bad. But I just prefer this look compared to that one. So of course posability is very limited on these Sideshow figures, and if you kind of want to see a little bit more of that, definitely go check out the review, because I did review this guy like forever ago. So definitely go check that out if you guys want to. But you can definitely see there is a big difference between the two. But yeah, that is basically these two. I definitely think that I like the Sideshow one better, just because I love the overall look of it. But that's kind of up for you to decide too. So which one would you guys rather have? I just kind of wish that Neca went for this look than this one. But I do like that they did something different than what Sideshow did. So there's that. But let's take a look at what he looks like with two of the Universal Monsters figures. You can see with all of these guys, they all look very, very nice together. I especially love just how the Invisible Man looks with everybody. That just looks absolutely awesome. All of these guys are just together now, and I think that just looks awesome. But I think that is going to be it for this video. So I hope you guys did enjoy this small kind of Neca review, and I will see you guys in the next review. Remember, keep slaying, keep collecting, and I will see you guys in the next video.